By the end of this video, you are going to have 7 productivity working from home tips from Barbara Ramirez from My Virtual Partner. She's fantastic. She's got some great tips. So check it out. Okay, Barbara Ramirez from My Virtual Partner. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Great, thank you. Thank you for having me here, Rowan.
Absolutely. Now, the topic for today is work from home productivity hacks, productivity tips, ways to increase productivity working from home. Do you reckon you could share a couple of, you're in the space of productivity. Could you share a couple of hacks with the audience?
Yes, well, first, if you don't live alone in your house, you have to have a communication system. That's key for productivity. Even if it's just your spouse or family members. For example, I have family members that live with their parents or their kids. Communicate with all of them how your work schedule is going to be, especially if you're going to have meetings or communications externally via Zoom or phone, whatever. So you're focused on that. Then key important that is being a game changer for me. It sounds silly, but prepare a few things in advance, like preparing your meals is key for me. I don't have to think of that during the week. I know that whenever I'm hungry or it's lunchtime, I just go to the fridge and it's already there. I will heat it up a little bit. I don't have to spend so much time on that. And that's something that kept to me because I came from working in an office and now working from home. So I have that routine already. It's not easy. So start small, like having at least the meals for the next 3 days already there prepared. It saves a lot of time instead of spending all these hours preparing your lunch or your breakfast or whatever you're going to eat. And then you can take that time to actually rest. You need to have time to rest, to clear your mind. Just because you are working from home doesn't mean that you have to be online every minute and every hour, especially when you have maybe you're not working for your own business, but you work for another company. They assume that you're going to be online every time and every hour of the day. You have to put some boundaries there with what's your work schedule, share it with them, and then actually rest. Like stop when you're going to rest and put the phone away, go for a walk or even a nap, okay? And especially when it's the end of your work day, just because you're from home doesn't mean that you have to answer an email at 8 p.m. in the night. You can wait until tomorrow. I always say that, well, what if it's an emergency? Are you dying? Are you sick? Do you need a doctor? Then go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually read something about this and it's very funny because I mean, it's very common. Companies right now think that because you're working from home, you have to be online to reply everything like in the moment and every hour. And even if it's early in the morning or at night, it's not in my work schedule and you have to respect that. You have to respect your time. And I'm only speaking from myself. I don't have kids. I cannot imagine people that have kids. I see it from my sister. She also works from home and it's a different schedule and it's more strict than mine because she needs to have time to dedicate to her kid too. So plan this kept to me from I don't know if you have heard about Jesse Itzler. He had a program that started 2 years ago that is 30 Days of Excellence and Build Your Life Resume. And he talks about this. When you're scheduling your work and your time and all of that, take in consideration first your life and your personal activities and then the activities related to your work. And this also applies when you work for a company from home as well. Plan the time that you need for yourself. If you need to take a time off for a personal errands or to take vacations, for all of that. Because at the end, you don't own your life to your work. Okay, so you're helping this company achieve their goals, but you need to make your life as well. So that kept into my mind. Plan your life before your work.
Yeah, I love it.
It has been key for me. Yeah, sometimes things happen and we need to reschedule things or a trip or whatever. That's okay, but at least you're putting that effort of making yourself a priority. That's like giving you tips for productivity, it all goes back to that, to how you feel, to how you want your life to be. And it's funny because I see all these things like having the life of your dreams and working from the beach is different to everyone. Not everyone wants to have it in that way. There's people that just want to have more time to play with their kids at the end of the day. So
Sure.
you have to have certain structure in your day in order to be able to take more time for the things you want to do.
Mm.
So communicating, having a clear schedule, maybe not so tight with all the details, but I have taught people a few hidden features that are in Google Calendar, like setting your work schedule. That really helps when someone wants to schedule, someone from work, when schedules a meeting with you. That gives them the visibility to know your own boundaries and when you're going to be available. Set up a Calendly link with when are the times you're going to be available for meetings. So that also saves you time and is a productivity hack on having emails back and forth when to meet with you. Just set up a Calendly link for that. And if you're going to
Calendly's a
be
great
away,
tool.
yeah, set up an out of the office, okay, in your email, so people will know that you're not available at that time. So it's just like making a good use of all the tools that are out there for that and adjust them to how you want your life to be. That's has been key for me since I have worked from home. And every time I see a new feature, I will see how can I implement that into my life or my clients whenever I know they struggle with all these things.
That's a really good point. There is so much technology and tools for everything these days. So we've got no excuses to not utilize them to make our life better and less stressful, by having a Calendly link or an out of office or something that lets people know. I think when we're working from home, there's a heightened need and a heightened sense for needing to let people know, needing to communicate. And we've got all the tools where you can press some buttons and shoot, messages or warnings or whatever to people all across the world, in an instant. So we've got no excuse to not use that to let people know, these are my boundaries and this is when I'm working and this is when I'm not working. And I totally agree that that's a great hack.
Yeah.
What
It's a
has
scary,
been?
but it's really good. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah. And what is a productivity hack that you might implement for yourself today? It's getting to the end of your day, or
Today,
what is one that you did today or might do tomorrow?
okay, so today I actually rest until 8 a.m. I needed to do it
Nice.
because I knew from yesterday, I planned my day the day before, like go to my calendar, see what I have for the day. So I knew I have all these meetings in the afternoon, all these calls I needed to have, and all these activities. So I said, okay, I'm going to rest and I'm going to sleep a bit more in my morning. So I'm more rest and I'm not so filled with all these things. And then I will go and do what I have to do. And when I end, I will go and try to take a walk. So that's the other hack that I'm going to implement today. I try not to push myself so hard. I'm not such a fan of exercising. I know I have to do it, so I take it one day at a time. When I feel to do it, I will do it. If I know I have to, but I don't feel so good, I will just go ahead and do it the next day. But doing my efforts, that's also something that I add to my days when I wake up. Okay, I will go ahead and do it today.
Good idea. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
love that. It's more like self-care and looking after yourself. One final question. What do you think of the Pomodoro technique or, the techniques like that where you have a work block and then a rest block, work block, rest block?
I use it in my own way. I listened. I cannot work without any sounds or anything. So I need to listen to some music, but not any music. So I have like 3 different playlists depending on the activity I'm going to do. And when I have this need for focus time, because I have to get something done and I know it will take me more than an hour, I have this playlist with the soundtracks of movies from Hans Zimmer.
Nice.
The one that has done the one from Interstellar, Batman,
Lion
Dune,
King.
Gladiator. So
Yeah.
those last like between 1 hour and an hour and a half. So
Mm,
when I know that I have to focus on something, I will just go to the playlist, pick one, and
mm,
then that's because I don't like having a timer, like looking at the timer, it causes me stress. So I go with the music. And I
I like
have
that.
heard it so much that I know when there's a part of the track, okay, I'm in the middle. I have this time left. I try not to see the
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
I have this, but just to count my steps because
Ah,
I'm forcing myself to have better health.
yeah.
But I haven't wore a watch 8 years ago when I started working from home. I
Mm,
don't like wearing watches. So I used to use this to track my steps because I get up and I try to at least, do the 10,000
yeah.
steps
Yeah.
that everyone tells you that is good for your health. But that's my way of having my Pomodoro technique. When I need to really, really, really focus on something, I actually listen one from the movie Amélie. It's a
Hmm.
French movie.
Yeah, I know that. It's my wife's
Like
favorite movie.
yeah, the flow of the is different to Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer, I listen when it's something that I'm really passionate about,
Mm,
but when it's something that is, I do it because it's my work, because it's for my clients, but I need like an extra motivation. I listen to that one in particular.
yeah.
And I know it takes an hour and 20 minutes, and I know when it's in the middle, and I try to do the work in less time
Uh-huh.
because it's not my biggest passion, but I kind of like it, so I try to do it in the less time if possible. So I try to do it before it hits certain part of the track. It's really funny, but I have done that for the past 6 years or so, so I'm used to that.
I love that. It's a much less
Yeah,
stressful way of having a timer. It's yeah, the
yeah,
subconscious timer. That's great.
yeah.
Thank you so much. So anyone can find Barbara at myvirtualpartner.com. We'll have a link in the description below. And yeah, thanks very much for those hot tips on productivity, Barbara. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me here, Rowan.
See ya. I hope you got something out of that interview. If you're not subscribed already, hit the face that has just come up there. And if I can even talk, then I would say goodbye. So goodbye. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.